So welcome everybody in our first session of the job search class, job search part of our software quality assurance class. I assume you watched a couple of videos and it was a part of your homework. We will look today at the results of the quiz. So lots of people think that they are naturally born with pretty good knowledge of how to look for a job. And it's not the case. And you have to know what you are doing to be successful. Otherwise, you just take chances. Definitely, the job market today is probably the best I've been seeing for the last 20 years. And especially if you live outside of Silicon Valley in areas where practically there is no supply and still there is some demand, so you might think you are doing pretty well. But the difference between people who are doing pretty well and people who are taking chances becomes apparent when you actually run into bad economy. When economy is bad, people who know what they are doing still get a job, and people who have no idea what they are doing and who take chances cannot get anything. So that is pretty much the situation. So where do we look for a job? We have multiple websites here, and 94% of you are saying Dice is good, which is smart. Craigslist is must. It's very important. Monster is extremely important. Career Builder is no less important, guys, than Dice, Craigslist, or Monster. First four websites are critically important. All four of them. All four are equally important. Now, let's take a look at others. So LinkedIn. It is not exactly where we look for a job, where we post our resume. We do post it there, but it's not because we expect to get a job right there. We do that because we expect people to check who you are. So they search for your name, on Google, and then it comes to LinkedIn. So they basically compare what you have on LinkedIn with what you put in your resume. So we do not want any discrepancies here. But LinkedIn is not where you look for a job. So Career Builder is hundreds of times more important to you rather than LinkedIn. QA Forums is not exactly the place where you look for a job, and QA Forums is a very informative website, but it prohibits you to look for a job right there. It is prohibited. QA Jobs is a website. I don't know really anybody who gotten a job right there. So it is not powerful, I would say. Indeed.com. Indeed.com is aggregating jobs from multiple websites, including Dice and a few more. So my personal advice is do not use it. If you want jobs which are placed on Dice, go to Dice and find them right there. You can still post your resume at Indeed if they allow you to do that, but then to me it's a secondary website. It's not that much important. Portnoy.com, guys, is not where you can post your resume. So I like the fact you kind of trust the website, but it's not how you look for a job. Okay. Then we have, you have to update your resume on job search websites. How often? So 50% of you are saying every day. Guys, that is exactly how often you update your resume. Because recruiters might search for the candidates every day. They might say, okay, give me today's resumes. If your resume is not updated today, or let's say within 24 hours, they will not find you. Same as when you go to the job market and when you search for open positions, you are saying, okay, give me today's jobs. Why? Because I've seen yesterday's jobs yesterday. And day before yesterday, I've seen it day before yesterday. Today, I want today's jobs. And lots of companies will update their positions on everyday basis, because if you look for them today only, so they still want to be found. You want to be found when companies are doing just one-day search. That is exactly the fact. You want to be found. Once in 3 days, once a week, once a month. Every time I look for a job again. If you do that, every time you look for a job again, you will be looking for a job again and again and again, never get one. If you do it once a month, it means you are not looking for a job. Once a week, you are lazy and you don't care much. Again, you might live in the area where they simply do not have candidates. So maybe 1 week is okay. But we are talking about a worst case scenario. So we are talking about certain strategies which allow you to always be on top. So you are not taking chances. You are always on top no matter where you are. What else? The keywords you use, when keyword code my resume. So keyword coding is a special technique. We will look at it today again, but it is a special technique which allows you to put certain keywords at the right place. So when recruiters search for your resume, you show up at the top of the list. Let me show you something. Let's go to Dice. Let's go to dice.com. And I will go to recruiters interface of dice.com. So I'm saying login here as an employer. And I will try to search for candidates. And you will see who exactly is at the top of the list. And out of thousands of people, guys, thousands of people, some folks are just on the first page. And some folks are at the very top of the first page. And yeah, let me do that. So let me go there. I'm saying, yeah, that is my login. Okay. And that is the whole purpose of what we are doing. That is the whole idea of keyword coding. So we are putting the right keywords at the right place. Here it says which keywords. Basically, the question is how you want to be found. Which keywords you think are important to be found. So QA is very important. SQA is less important, but it is important. Test is extremely important. Tester. On Dice, test and tester are two different keywords. Testing is same as test. There is no difference between testing and test. It is exact same thing. So I would say from the standpoint of saving, using less characters, because sometimes the field is limited in number of characters. I would say test is the primary keyword and testing is something you don't care about. SQL is good. We have 2 times SQLs, basically. SQL, and one is more important, another one is less important. So it's very cool. Mobile is extremely important. Selenium, if you play that thing, is extremely important. Software is not. Software is a garbage. Engineer is a garbage. Black box is a garbage. Those are not distinctive keywords. Remember, guys, software, engineer, and black box are not distinctive. That keyword doesn't say anything about you specifically. So we are on Dice, and I'm saying, okay, let's go to the search page and search for people who are testing, let's say, testers who are doing mobile application, or let's say, so you are in a ClickBerry project, or let's say web application. So let's say web applications. And I didn't say where you are geographically. It's all over the United States. And by default, it is looking at 90 days. So we do not want, W-E, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, it's web. I want to say web. Web and search. So QA web. And by default, it says 90 days. We do not want 90 days. Let's say, maybe just 1 day. We mentioned 1 day. Let's take a look at 1 day, or maybe let's take a look at 1 week. Let's say 1 week. Okay. Let's do 1 week of resumes. And again, it is nationwide. And so we have Hitesh. Okay, the screen refreshes. Guys, all the people you see on the first page are our graduates. People like you. Andrew here, he is number 1. He is in Chicago. He is our online student from previous classes. Yana, she came to us from Southern California. She was taking that class on campus, and she's actually working. I don't know, maybe she's looking for a better job, I don't know, but she's working. That gal, she's also doing her internship, started to look for a job. Now, guys, look what happened. Desired position is the most critical thing. The major contribution to your success happens in desired position. We have both QA and web presented in the desired position. The word e-commerce here is garbage. Okay? So Andrew is using that keyword instead of using much more valuable things. Okay? So remember the list. There is no e-commerce in that list. If e-commerce is important to him, he might use skills. So we have 20 fields for skills. He can dedicate a single field to e-commerce if he wants to, but desired position is so important, so e-commerce is not really the right one. Now, look at Yana. Yana is using QA, test, SQA, web, which is fine. Engineer is not fine. It is garbage. So she does not invest enough. She under-invests in her success, in her visibility. She can say mobile. She can say QA tester. Okay. She can say something else, but she doesn't do it. And altogether, she doesn't use all 32 characters which she can use in that field. Then she is capable of using 20 fields for skills, and she is using 4 and 4 and 3. So she is using 11 fields instead of 20 fields. And in other mistakes she makes, she puts money here. She says, I want that much money for permanent job and that much money for contract. The right position here is negotiable. We have to say negotiable to be found more often. Then we have that lady who uses the word engineer, which is garbage, and then she does comma. Guys, comma takes space, and another comma takes space, and another comma takes space. Now, she wasted 3 characters instead of using something good. I mean, you can put sequel for 3 characters, but now she uses the word engineer, which is a total waste, and she doesn't have the word test, and she doesn't have the word mobile, she doesn't have the word selenium. It's all in her resume. Okay, so those are typical mistakes. Irina, she is actually in my office right now, participating in the class. She is using all 20 fields. And another good thing about her is, look, she says QA in desired position, and she has dedicated QA field. Okay, she has SQA, and does she have dedicated SQA field? I'm trying to, yes, she does, right here. She has test. She has tester and tester. So each important keyword should have its own dedicated field when it comes to skills. So altogether, it gives you more visibility. So Sergey is from another online class. He is actually looking for his next job. His first job was, I believe, with National Geographic. So he worked there. Okay. Julia, QA test, web mobile tester. Not bad at all. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She is using 18 fields, so she might use 2 more fields, but overall, I would say it's pretty good. Duke just posted his resume. I talked to him today. Ksenia, another young lady here. She is practicing. Guys, look at Ksenia. She is actually Canadian. And she came from Canada to take our class, and we said, okay, we have to practice in how we interview, how we get through all the stages, of that process. And she posted her resume. She created profile in New York. She doesn't live there, but she is overwhelmed with calls from New York. And I believe she is pretty good, in that already, because They want to invite her for interviews and this and that, and she kind of, she practiced a lot. Okay, Anna. Sushma. Okay, guys, all these people. Another one who is sitting in our class, in my office right now. Okay, so what you see, guys, is first, whatever, 20, 30 people. Rachel, she just got a job. She is from San Diego. She just got a job. She actually gotten 2 job offers without leaving Bay Area. She came from San Diego to take the class, and she already left Friday. She has 2 job offers. So all these people in that list, they are following certain techniques, and they are all our students. There is no single person here who is not our student. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, that one is not. Okay, at the very top we have 2 people. One of them is not our student at all. And that one, and another one is our student, but he is not doing the right job. He says QA web mobile. That is how people, guys, do not get enough attention. And that comma here and the skills, he doesn't use all the fields. He doesn't have any single QA in his skills, guys. And he is the last one on that page. He does have QA and web in desired position, but because he doesn't have any single QA in his skills, he is at the very bottom of the list. And that is the search for 7 days. If I do that search for 10 days, for example, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and whatever, so definitely there are going to be more people here. That is what it means to be doing keyword coding. If instead of QA web, I will say mobile, for example. Mobile. So I want you to practice it. I want you to post your resume. So next time we get together, let's say tomorrow, 6 of you already have resumes. I will do 2 more today. I have 2 more people with the resumes. Guys, why don't you post them? There is no risk of to harm anybody, to cause any problem. And we have same people. So Irina from Texas, okay, he is number 1. Julia, okay. Duke, same people. Ksenia, Anna, Sushma. So guys, exact same people. That one is not from our school actually. Just 2 right keywords, put them to the top. That person is foreign to us, stranger in our list. Zuhra, Alex, okay, he is our online student from Florida. So guys, I'm pretty much proud, to generate the top of the list, Now, coming back to the quiz. Here are the keywords to use, and the last 3 are not. Software, engineer, and black box are not to be used. Testing is not to be used. So we use test rather than testing on DICE. But tester is a separate keyword. The most valuable fields of your profile to be keyword coded are desired position. Guys, desired position is much more important than skills. Skills are important. Desired position is much more important. And desired position is much more limited. You know what? It's just 32 characters. I know people who would create 2 profiles. 2 profiles with exact same resume, so they use more keywords. Okay, so whatever people search for, they find them first. Skills, summary. Summary has 0 exposure to the search. Summary in DICE is just about, you try to communicate, but that field is not searchable. It is not how they find you. It is something they might read after they find you, but it doesn't help you to be found. When we go to Monster, guys, Monster is similar to DICE with just one specific distinction. On Monster, it is not just desired position, it's 2 fields. They have desired job title and current job title. They have two fields. Both are equally important. But on Monster, it is not limited to 32 characters, like 200 or 150 or something. It's big. You can put all the important keywords in both current job title and desired job title. And then resume itself is important. If in your resume itself you never have the word mobile or the word web or the word QA, guys, it puts you down a little bit. Okay, people who do have lots of words there will move up. Okay, so it is important also to have important keywords in your resume itself. What is the most typical per hour rate when you enter the job market first? Basically, the question is how to not look ridiculous when you ask for how much money you want. So I remember few months ago, we had a situation in Florida. So one young lady gets a job at $25 per hour, and her friend who goes to the next class, he thinks, well, why don't I ask for $35? Guys, in Florida, the difference between $25 and $35 is so huge. So on the local pay scale, it's enormous. He eventually gets more money than she did, but he gets permanent position. Which I would say is an equivalent of maybe $28 per hour. But what I'm saying, if you ask for 35, it becomes much more difficult. It's not about glory, guys. It's not about your ego. It's about being up to the market. And we are talking about long-term career transition. We are not talking about 2 months or 3 months, and you become rich in 2 months and you stop working. So it doesn't matter if they give you 22 or 25 or 28. It literally changes nothing, because in 3 months you can go and get another $5 on the top. 3 more months you can go and get another $5 on the top of that. Who cares? So what we are saying, when you go first to the market, so what is the range? And the first answer here says $12-15 per hour. It is not where you are. You all have in that class. You all have college degrees, guys. With college degree, you cannot apply for $12-15 per hour, and you are not likely to be getting 16-20 unless you are 20 years old yourself, and you are in a city college or something like that. That is what they kind of naturally would expect you to charge. But again, if you have college degree, you are much more likely to be in either 20 to 24 or 25 to $30 per hour. If you have computer science degree or electrical engineering degree, if you did work in development before, or I mean really you are coming from a very strong IT background, so that is where you are. 30-35 is what you would charge. In the previous class, we had a gentleman who lives in Seattle, and within a month he generated 4 job offers, and but somehow he decided that he wants no less than $35 per hour. So just 1 out of 4 job offers was in that range, so 35. But again, to me it doesn't matter. When you change the career, it's not about how much you make just at start. But again, that is my suggestion to you. But you are living in different areas, and even though overall software testers are paid in pretty much same range. Let's say I met a lady from Denver, Colorado last week, and she has 10 years of experience in software testing, and she lives there, and she works in a big company, and so she makes 90K. Guys, she might easily make 90K here with that much of experience. And so the ranges are similar: New York, Silicon Valley, Denver, Seattle, so pretty much the same. But it doesn't hurt when you start talking to recruiters. You might say, listen guys, or listen sir, okay, so you talk to specific, you say, listen, what would you suggest? I don't want to look ridiculous, but what would be your suggestions? They will tell you. And by the way, they like people asking for their expertise. It doesn't hurt you in any way. But again, guys, it is not $40 or $50 right away, and it is not 12 or 15. Do not look ridiculous. Okay, thousands per year on a permanent job, and what is the equivalent per hour salary? Because when you fill out different forms, that is one place. So you do not want. Let me see here. For example, anybody with who is okay. Wait a second. No preference. $30 per hour. Let's say he is asking $30 per hour, but 60K permanent job. Here is the problem, because if I pay him 60,000 per year, it is not just $30 per hour, because now I have to pay his taxes for him. I have to pay workers' compensation insurance. I have to pay his vacation. I have to pay sick days and holidays. I have to pay for his medical insurance. Guys, an equivalent of 60K would be maybe $36, $37 per hour. So it is not like you multiply by 2,000, because some people say, well, we have 50 weeks a year working, and 1 week is 40 hours. So if in total we have 2,000 hours working, so $30 per hour becomes like 60K. It is not. It is not, because 60K means benefits, paid vacation, sick days, and lots of other benefits might be, involved, and this and that. So we do not want to look ridiculous. For example, guys, $25 per hour or 50K. 50K is much more to me as an employer. It is much more than $25 per hour. So that is one situation. You fill out forms and you do not want to look ridiculous or difficult to deal with to recruiters, number one. Number two, it happens when a recruiter calls you and the recruiter says, so what is your rate? You say 60K. And the recruiter says, yeah, but we have contract position. What is your contract rate? And you say, well, 60K, $30. Well, they might be happy to hear that, but it might be opposite. So $50 give me 100,000 per year. Wow. So you have to understand. And then it says, okay, let's say we are looking at $40 per hour. What would be an equivalent permanent position? So thousands per year. I can tell you, it's in my estimation, it would be like 70, 72. But what are the choices? We have one person saying 50,000 per year. It's very low. 60, nobody says 60. 3 of you are saying 65. 70, we have much more for 70. And guys, most of you are saying it's 80. It is not. That is a bad answer. As a recruiter, guys, I have some recruiting experience. We used to do lots of recruiting at some point, and it's very difficult to talk to people. They're saying, I want $40, and I'm saying, okay, but the position is permanent. They say 80K then. I say, listen, not really. I mean, an equivalent of $40 is 70K, maybe 70. No. See, and now it's a problem. I have to explain them something they do not want to understand. They just want more money. Okay, so people, if they have someone easier to deal with, guys, you lost at that point the whole opportunity. It is recommended to send how many resumes per day? When we teach that class, we talk to people who live here in Silicon Valley. So in Silicon Valley, we have much more positions, open. So in Silicon Valley, I'm saying you can send 50 resumes a day. It's not a big deal. You can do it. Definitely, if you live in the area where you cannot send that many, so you do not send that many. But they are saying 50 here. Yeah, nobody says 50. 40, 50, 50 plus. Nobody says that. So 5, 10. Again, if you cannot send more, it's okay. But if you can send more, guys, send more. Why not? And let me. Well, actually, in the video which you are supposed to watch before you go to the job market, I show exactly how to find open positions. If you have any issues with that, we can come back to that later on. I just don't want to spend time on that so far. So we are looking at 50 resumes to be sent out. On the top of posting your resume and updating your resume on an everyday basis is number one. And then after you post and update, you start sending your resume out. So you research the market, and meanwhile people can find you. It's important to announce your availability first, and then you can do it. What are the advantages of the 3 to 6 months contract jobs? The reason we talk about that is lots of people are neglecting contract jobs. They are saying, no, contract job is not safe, contract job is not coming with benefits, I do not want contract jobs. And what we teach in our class is contract jobs are very good to start your career. Just to start. I'm not saying you have to stay on contract jobs for the rest of your life. And lots of people do prefer to stay on contract jobs for the rest of their life because that way they make more money. For example, I remember a time when my wife worked for Microsoft, and I had choices, and my benefits, medical benefits, were coming through her. And I think, well, should I go to another company where they give me medical benefits again, or I will go to contract and I will take money instead of benefits which I have anyway from another source. So some people would never go to a permanent job. You will decide later on. But to start with, contract jobs are pretty good. So let's take a look at the options we have here. So company makes hiring decision fast. It's true. For permanent position, it might take month upon month upon month. So the best way to look for a permanent job is when you have a job. And then you are not that much desperate to get something. So they have to make hiring decision real fast. They might be in a rush, actually. And in Silicon Valley, in today's market, which is booming, we see all the time, for the last couple of months, guys, we see situations when recruiters actually interview people and tell them, okay, you start Monday. Recruiters, not even company people. And we are talking about $35, $40 per hour. At that range, and we talk about companies such as Apple and Google and Microsoft, that is how they hire. It's like a mass market thing, So company makes decision real fast. You will make much more money compared to permanent position. It is true. You will not get benefits. You will not get paid, vacation. But especially if you are not making, if your rate is not too high, they will pay you for overtime. They will pay you 150% for overtime. Sometimes if it goes over 12 hours a day, so you get 200% on overtime. So, but even if you get same rate, let's say your rate is $30 per hour and you work 10 hours a day, guys, it's not bad. I mean, you're going to make lots of money. You will get the benefits, including health insurance and paid vacation. Nobody gets confused with that. No benefits, guys, no paid vacation. There is one more aspect here. If they pay you on 1099, not W-2, but 1099, you are not eligible for unemployment. So if they ask you, would you prefer to be on 1099 or W-2? Some people prefer 1099 because they give you more money right away. So because on W-2 they charge you taxes upfront. On 1099 you will pay taxes, when it comes to the taxation season. So it looks like you get more money, but you are not eligible for unemployment if it is 1099. So remember that. If you have a choice and you do not live in the area where next job is, just waiting for you, guys, make sure you are eligible for unemployment. So be on W-2. You grow professionally faster. Absolutely. We have 85% support. You definitely grow much faster. Your professional networking is more intensive. Absolutely. If within a year you work for 3 companies on 3 projects, guys, now you know 3 times more people compared to working in the same company for a year. Absolutely. And the more people you know, the more powerful your network, the less you depend on Dice and Monster and Career Builder and all those websites. That is how you're going to get your next job and next job and next job. And as a recruiter, I can tell you, when we go to the job market, we cannot really find decent candidates on Dice or Monster unless they are new to the country. They might be good professionals coming from overseas, but locals have no reason to go there because they have so many connections, and those connections, people from their network call them and invite them in an economy like that with a distinctive deficit of people. So they are being contacted every day, by people in their network. You can stay on the contract as long as you wish. Okay, not really. I mean, we have companies which keep contractors for years upon years, but well, it's not exactly you who decides that. But guys, even if it is a permanent job, it's not exactly you who decides how long you stay there. You will be offered more by same company at the end of the contract. So if they tell you, why don't you stay for another 6 months? It might be a good time to negotiate or renegotiate your rate, and they might actually give you a couple of bucks. Normally, let's say you make $30 and they say, would you like to stay more? And they might say, okay, 32 or 32.50, but they're not going to give you 40 normal or 50 at that point. But they might also say, well, we will keep your rate the same. No, I mean, they have no obligation to make it, to raise your rate. What are the critical questions you ask at the interview? So we have choice of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. What is your definition of an ideal candidate for the position? That question is the single most important question to be asked. So if all you can ask is just one question, you ask that. You say, guys, so what is your definition of an ideal candidate? To them, it looks like you are trying to figure out if you are a good match. Because if you are not a good match, you do not want that job. You want them to be happy with you. You will not take a job where they are unhappy. Nobody wants that humiliation. So I say, okay, what exactly do you want? And so that question helps you to make them thinking about what is exactly a good match, because their mind is absolutely confused with job description, which has nothing to do with real responsibilities. Job description is much broader, than it really takes to do a good job. So you help them to say, wait a second, but that is the right guy right in front of us. So it is a brilliant question, the best ever. Then, what do you expect from a new hire? That is second question. If you have another question to ask, say, okay, what do you expect from that person in 2 weeks? Means 2 weeks if it is a contract, or 3 months if it is a permanent position. So I'm looking at your job description. You are saying test cases. What do you expect that person in terms of writing test cases? What is that exactly? What are the deliverables? Test automation, okay, what do you expect in test automation? Whatever they have in their job description. So it will give them better understanding of what they want, because what they really want is not much. And people who do want much will not call you and will not bring you to the interview. Guys, you are not, your resume is not like senior level resume with lots of programming languages, test automation tools, and this and that. The very fact they invite you for an interview tells you you are okay with your skill set. Otherwise, they would never waste time talking to you. So you are already okay. But when they look at their job description, which is crap, and they look at you, you ask that question so they understand that job description is crap and you are good. That is the reason for that question. What is the current stage of the application development? It doesn't help them to hire you, but it does help you to understand what that situation is about. So your mentality is, you are saying, okay, I go to the job market. What if next week I get 2 job offers or 3 job offers? How would I choose one? So you ask yourself, what is the current stage? Why it's important? If you know the current stage, let's say it's going to be beta. Guys, if it's going to be beta and they tell you automation, test cases, no way. It's going to be lots of manual testing, monkey stuff, God knows, 10 hours a day at least. So it really tells you what's real, you know, and it might not be in the job description. How soon do you want me to start? Guys, never ask that unless you have a job offer already. Normally, job offer tells you when they want you to start, but some people just do not understand anything, I mean, the process. And so manager says, okay, or not necessarily manager says, okay, do you have any questions? How soon should I start? Listen, we didn't tell you are good enough yet, so don't ever ask that. 26%, guys, don't ever. What are the typical problems your team has to deal with? Why that question is a brilliant question. They will tell you. They are not going to hide anything. And then you can position yourself as a solution. You can say, listen, it's a good one. That is a good one. Give it to me. Because they are looking for someone who will take their headache from them. So that is how it works. And what else? What do you bring to the table? Which means, why should we hire you, in other words? So what is the valuable, what makes you valuable? And we have lots of responses here. But technically speaking, guys, it is exact same question as why should we hire you? I am very responsible person, can work a lot and bring a lot of efforts to improve software product, blah, 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 blah. And if you watch my video, which is on YouTube, which is why should we hire you video, and it tells you why. Because your life path goes through that company. Because when you think about your long-term career aspirations, that company contributes a lot to your long-term career aspirations. That means if they give you more than they would give other candidates, they can expect more from you than they can expect from other candidates. That is pretty much what you bring to the table. You bring to the table your passion for your long-term career growth, which is pretty much in the area of what they are doing. So you bring your motivation, you bring your passion, you bring your hard work, and that is the most important thing. Yeah, my attitude, good. My desire, appreciation for quality, my background. Okay, there is no bad answers here. Your answers are pretty good. I'm just telling you, we are not in business of good answers here. We are in business of best answers. So how to answer the question better than any other question. So when it comes to that, so team player, everything is good, guys. And also what's important, it has to be you. It has to be sincere. When you say what you bring to the table, they have to believe you, not think, maybe he did read it on Google somewhere, you know, and it's not exactly who he is or she is. And now I'm looking at Skype, and I see Ilya there, and people ask him about his story. Ilya got a job, and actually I'm not updated myself on his most recent successes. Okay, let me give him the microphone. Okay, Ilya, where are you there? Okay, yeah. So yeah, you can talk. Ilya. Yeah, please. So they ask you. So they ask you about the job. Ilya, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, Ilya, are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, we can hear you very well. So
Can you hear me?
yeah, perfectly. What is your story? Tell us.
One sec. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, I couldn't hear you for a second. Yes, I got a job 2 weeks ago. They hired me,
Okay.
and today was my first day. It's a 3-month contract for $25 an hour.
Uh-huh.
And
How
they
many
test slot machines.
how many bucks per hour?
So
Yeah. How much? What's your rate?
25.
25 bucks. And how old are you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
3-month contract.
3 months contract. Okay, but how old are you?
How old?
Yeah, you.
How old? 27.
Okay, but you do not have college degree yet, or you do have college degree?
I have a college degree. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So $25 is much better than your first job, which was paying like I'm not sure, like what, 14, 15.
15. First job and second job was 15.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, guys, when you start making $25, you get into much better environments. You get more respect from people, and they appreciate more what you are doing, and you are the same. So it's much more enjoyable to be working
Yeah.
25. Yeah, and you feel better.
Yeah. So, well, it's the first day. It's always difficult.
Okay, okay. So guys, let's do it this way. If you have questions to Ilya, just write them in the Skype, okay? And we will give him maybe 5-10 minutes next time so he can prepare to answer your questions and whatever you might be asking for. Okay? And I have to run into...
Do you hear me okay?
Perfectly, yes. So I have to run into the physical classroom because we have another class 7 to 11 p.m. And so guys, make sure if you have your resume already, make sure you post it and we will look at it tomorrow. If you didn't give me your draft of resume, make sure you send me the draft of that resume. Thank you very much and I will talk to you tomorrow.